Another thing that happens during the Navjot, and all kids get psyched by this, is the drinking of the cow urine. Now, before you think, oh, this is exactly like the Hindus, let me please tell you that the Babas, they actually go one step further. It can't be any cow. It has to be a pure white cow. When I was very young and I was getting my Navjot done, my sister decided to play a prank on me. Ideally, you're supposed to just take the urine and hold it to your lips, but she told me that you're supposed to take a gulp. And guess what I did? When a couple gets
various guidelines in relation to the coronavirus and has clearly mentioned the do's and don'ts regarding the whole situation, many across the world continue to look for their own unique ways to contain the virus. In particular, the media outlets in countries like Pakistan and Malaysia were quick to pick up the story of a small Hindu group in India which organized a gathering in which the participants consumed cow urine as a measure to increase their body's immunity to fight off any potential encounter with the coronavirus. Quite rapidly, this became a global story as the media outlets from across the world decided to give this incident a lot of exposure. These types of media exposures can easily bring the global attention to those groups or peoples who are yet to properly follow the science that the modern society endorses. But as a responsible global community, should we just stop here? Or should we also try to help and reach out to other groups whose practices are also not in sync with the best available science of today? Why should we be only concerned about the Hindu community? Isn't it unfair to other communities or groups which also deserve to benefit from such media exposure? Shouldn't we urge the global media to provide an equal opportunity to other communities to get modernized? For example, the World Health Organization has warned against consuming camel urine, but the consumption of camel urine for its medicinal purposes is still a common practice in many nations. What is even more disturbing is that camel urine is actually linked to the spread of a disease known as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus, which was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012. According to WHO, the MERS virus has been identified in dromedary camels in several countries, including Egypt, Oman, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Born in Saudi Arabia, this disease even took the lives of many in South Korea. Even the coronavirus pandemic appears to have worsened because of some religious practices. Laura Spinney, who is a British science journalist, notes, "The South Korean cluster of COVID-19 seems to have spread via churches, while pilgrims in Iran have posted videos of themselves defiantly licking the Fatima Masume shrine in the city of Qom." On the other hand, in America, televangelist Kenneth Copeland is miraculously healing his viewers of the coronavirus through their televisions, and in various churches across the world, magical healing sessions are organized regularly. Yes, in every religion, there are many behaviors and rituals that appear to be completely unscientific. Additionally, it should also be understood that the traditional medicinal system cannot always sync with the modern medicine, but as far as animal urine is concerned, modern medicine has accepted it too. A good example of this is the estrogen replacement drug Premarin, which is made from horse urine. But can we always ensure that science is not lying to us? If some religious people are blind about their faith, then many science lovers are also blind about science. In 2012, the British multinational pharmaceutical company GlaxoSmithKline was fined $3 billion after it admitted to encouraging the prescription of unsuitable antidepressants to children and bribing doctors. The company even sponsored lavish holidays and five-star hotels for the psychiatrist and had supporting articles in top medical journals which were written by the so-called independent doctors. As the doctors were playing golf and going fishing on their sponsored holidays, antidepressants were causing havoc in the lives of innocent children who didn't even need to go on these medications. Another antidepressant drug sold to adults was packaged as a wonder drug that could even help you stop smoking, stay happy, and lose weight. This case was termed as the largest case of healthcare fraud in the American history. Now, give it a thought. The victims of this healthcare fraud were just following science, weren't they? In case you want to broaden your perspective on science and scientific misconduct, I recommend you this episode, which is already available in public domain. Yes, we want to be progressive and some of us even ridicule old traditions and traditional lifestyles, but have we done enough to discourage our own behaviors which are not backed by science? Have we done enough to educate our modern women about FASD? Have we told them what the best available science says about drinking alcohol during pregnancy? Have we done enough to discourage underage drinking that is linked to various types of crimes and sexual risky behaviors? Have we also realized that we are also creating a type of societal pressure on others to follow our ways and choices which are not even backed by science? Yes, we are rightfully concerned about some unscientific traditional practices as well as the spread of coronavirus. But have we done enough to discourage promiscuous behavior and casual dating that leads to multiple partners and the spreading of all sorts of viruses and infections? Don't we know that the best available science clearly says that no amount of protection can guarantee safe sex? Yes, it may be easy to criticize people, cultures and nations, but it is very difficult to do a sincere self-introspection. Keeping that in mind, I have published a series of multiple episodes that should help the viewers in broadening their perspective. As far as the coronavirus, the smart thing to do is to visit the WHO official webpage to get the latest updates. If you like
கோவில்ல உள்ள பெண் சிலைகளா இருந்தாலும் சரி, சிற்பங்களா இருந்தாலும் சரி, அதுல மேலாடைகள் இல்லாம மார்பகங்களை காட்டியவாறு தான் அமைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கும். இது ஏன் அமைச்சாங்க? இது பார்க்கும்போது முகம் சுளிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அதே வேளையில நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் பெண்களை காட்சிப்படுத்தும் விதமா தான் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிருக்காங்க நமக்கே தோணும். ஆனா அவங்க ஏன் அப்படி பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னு கொஞ்சம் ஆழ்ந்து சிந்தித்து பார்த்தாதான் இதுல இருக்கிற விஷயம் புரியும். அதாவது வரலாற்று ஆய்வாளர்கள் என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, நாம இருக்கிற பகுதி வெப்ப மண்டலம், அதாவது வெப்பம் அதிகமா இருக்கக்கூடிய பகுதி. அதனாலதான் இங்க இருக்கிற பெண்கள் அந்த காலத்துல மேலாடைகள் இல்லாம தான் இருந்திருக்காங்க. அத மையமா வச்சுதான் பெண்களை மேலாடைகள் இல்லாம காட்சிப்படுத்திருக்காங்க. பெண்களை காட்சிப்படுத்தும் விதமா தான் மேலாடைகள் இல்லாம சிற்பங்களா வடிச்சாங்கன்னு நினைக்கும் போது நாம இன்னொரு விஷயத்தையும் யோசிக்கணும். அது என்னன்னா, நாம வணங்கக்கூடிய பெண் தெய்வங்கள் கூட மேலாடைகள் இல்லாம தான் இருக்குது. அப்போ இதுல எந்தவித உள்நோக்கமும் இல்லாம தான் நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் செயல்பட்டிருக்காங்க. இன்னொரு விஷயம் சொல்லணும்னா, நம்ம ராஜராஜ சோழன் கட்டிய தஞ்சை பெரிய கோவில்ல அவருடைய ஓவியம் இருக்கு. அதுல அவர் மனைவியோட இருக்கிற மாதிரியான ஓவியம். அந்த ஓவியத்துல கூட ராஜராஜ சோழன் மனைவிகளுக்கு மேல பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த மேலாடைகள் இல்லாம தான் அந்த ஓவியமே இருக்கு. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருக்கும் நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் மேல நாம என்னைக்கும் பழி சொல்லக்கூடாதுன்னு.
I have met so many foreigners who don't quite understand the logic behind the presence of erotic sculptures on the outer walls of some Indian temples. A few years ago, when I first visited some Indian temples, I was absolutely clueless as well. I tried to do some research on my own, but I always felt that I needed to meet an expert. The search for an expert took me to Kerala, which is India's own tropical paradise. Calicut is the native place of the renowned Indian archaeologist K.K. Mohammed, who is the regional director of the Archaeological Survey of India. He is also a recipient of the Padma Shri, which is India's fourth highest civilian honor. Mr. Mohammed explains the significance of symbolism in Hindu temples.
See, the concept of a temple itself is a human concept. Just as you are standing, the temples also will be having many parts, like the feet of you. Temple also will be having a feet. You have a knee, the temple also will be having a knee. So the concept is human concept. It is said, Upapidam Charnakar Adhishtanam Janu Mandalam Padavarga Karakaram Prastaram Bahumulagam. So that is the human concept. And inside you have a deity. So outside, just outside the deity, that is known as Garbhagraha. Just outside this Garbhagraha, there will be two other on one side and two other side also. So the statue on the right side, she would be standing on a crocodile, and the statue on left side, she would be standing on tortoise. So the one standing on crocodile, that is a symbolism of river Ganges, and the one standing on tortoise, that is a symbolism of river Yamuna. So this means you are having a symbolic bath in river Ganga and river Yamuna, and also the unseen Saraswati also, because it is you have got that Sangam is there, it is unseen, this one also. So you are having a symbolic bath. You are, I mean, washed of all the sins, and also at the same time of all that kind of ill feeling which you have got, kama, krodha, and all these things. So you have to set them aside at one particular place, and then you are going towards your God. So that is the concept. For example, if you go to Khajuraho, you have all kinds of things are there, but that is only outside. You don't find things inside, which means this world is full of all these kinds of things. But now you are in a different world. You are going to a temple. Again, you are having your symbolic washing in Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, and then with a pure mind, you are going towards your own Lord.
In India, the temples in Khajuraho are not the only ones with the erotic imagery on the outer walls. There are various temples in Rajasthan, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and Gujarat, which also have a similar type of architecture. So what is the solution to the misconceptions regarding Indian culture? Is there something that the Indian administration can do?
So all these things, that has to be explained. And for explaining these things, you have to have a kind of interpretation center, just as you have in Akshardham temples. So that is very essential. That is what I told you. In all the monuments, you have to have a interpretation center where everything is explained either with the help of the films or through a guide, and then take them to the place, they will be having a completely different experience.
Hi, my name is Carolina Goswami. I am doing my best to find accurate and authentic answers regarding many cultural aspects of India which are not fully known or understood. It takes a lot of time, money, and effort to do this work. Please come forward and support my mission financially. See you again.